Hi, this is a friendly reminder from reality. ICE agents get a 5 year of continuous service contract that they have to sign. That means at the earliest 2031 for a majority of them, at the soonest. And are promised the same student loan forgiveness program that Joe Biden had, but Trump canceled along with all the other Republicans, so that some are more equal than others, and $50,000 for 5 years. That's $10,000 a year. Plus whatever you may be making now. By that time, Trump will not pay out because he never pays out. Trump always screws people over. He also can't be president at that point either. Also, you will be jailed and you will be imprisoned as statutes of limitations and Trump pardons will be nullified by we the people you failed to dominate in my United States. Number one. Number two, for those of you out there that still have a Ring camera outside your house, in October of 2025, Ring was found sharing your security video data with Flock and others. Flock is contracted by ICE, and ICE illegally or legally kidnap U.S. citizens, and it isn't any one particular group. They're doing it to everybody, as well as, if you haven't noticed, outright reducing lifespans. We're on YouTube. We're not allowed to speak freely. Welcome to welcome to the dystopia some of you predicted. I want to point out that a lot of you aren't aware of the fact that for the several decades, some of you are very young, so for the last several decades, people have been ginning up the idea that the liberals are going to do all the terrible things, that there's some giant conspiracy, etc. Now, if you're not aware of this priming behavior, this is done by people who are going to do this to you in case you haven't noticed what's actually going on now. So in the world you're in right now, we have a cybersecurity police state. We have a physical secret police because they don't identify themselves. They falsify their driver's license plates and ID and everything else they can do, and they turn off their body cams. Okay? None of these behaviors are legally required to be tolerated by a polite society that allows you to have plausible deniability, or any of the other things we take for granted, especially some of you out there who are doing these terrible things. No, there isn't a statute of limitation on being an absolute monster. No, there is no such thing as us applying the innocent until proven guilty if you're part of a group of people that prevents us from finding out whether or not anyone's guilty. If you preemptively stop us from having justice, we're not required to give you justice. So again, ICE agents, you're not getting the money, because Trump always screws people over. I mean, 10,000 years is pretty puny. And a lot of you are Proud Boys or Oath Keepers or just MAGA who are doing this because you want to live out your punk-ass fantasy of running around with guns and shooting, owning the libs by actually shooting people. And that's what you assholes are doing. And you don't think that people out there, not saying me, but people like me, won't just go on all of your social media and make absolute databases about all of you? Eventually you will not have protection from this bastard or anybody he's appointed. Every one of you out there, by the way, that was appointed by this bastard. It doesn't matter if you go to South America, someone will be following you and I may be assisting them. All of us geeks, all of us anons will assist in finding and not prosecuting any of you, because what's the point of prosecuting you? Y'all owe me a debt. And you better learn your artwork. Start carving. No, really. So yeah, you're not getting the $10,000 a year, which is puny. You're not getting the bonus. And as for loan forgiveness, you will be required to pay other people's loans if necessary. That's all there is to it. Now, the alternative is that you win. Now, I want to explain this to all of the conservatives that are watching, because a bunch of them do actually watch the channel. And I encourage you all to forward, not me, but these statements here to everyone you know that's one of these advocates. The reason this is happening right now is we did not punish the people like this decades ago or centuries ago, a century ago, the last time they pulled this shit. The last several times in the last 100 years or so. The entire time the United States has existed, we've had these bastards doing this. I'm in the state of Oregon. Currently, the state of Oregon has made a rule that says we cannot make, keep, and bear arms. That's fine. They didn't say anything about bows and arrows or blowguns. But that isn't fine. And this is the reason a lot of those people out there on one side of the political spectrum or speculum decided to claim that we need to have the right to keep and bear arms. But they don't want it used by everybody. Equality is dangerous to people who want to make sure no one is equal. That is why they preach this shit. Decades and decades of lying. Okay? And none of the people, for those of you out there who want to actually talk to any of these people, and I'm saying these people because it's a specific variety of person. I'll introduce you to them because you may not realize you're staring at one. They know they're lying. They don't care. They know the facts don't back up what they believe. They don't care. They yell a lie long enough that it becomes not the truth but their reality because they want a world like that. They really want a world where the crap they scream that has nothing to do with reality becomes it. Stop assuming that someone's misinformed. And the next part, and that's for the hardcore ones. Now, for the most of you out there who are regretting what you've done, do something. Again, if you really were fooled by all of this, we're still going to keep your records. We're still going to explain to your family members that no, you don't have the right to keep and bear arms. You're not allowed to vote. You cannot hold office. You cannot run a business. And you cannot have a car until you take an oath that says, I admit that I'm an insurrectionist and I'm sorry. That should be the least effort possible. I have found that majority of these people, unless they're given a massive negative consequence, will never say something. The reason they scream owning the libs or put Hillary in prison or whatever is they want to punish other people. They want to lash out. But when it's done back to them and you do it in such a way that it isn't miserable for them, they don't do it. They don't change. However, the most miserable thing you can do to a contrarian is make them admit they're a contrarian and they were wrong and not let them ever say otherwise. The instant you open your mouth and say the opposite, when you get drunk at the bar, every benefit you have is gone and you go right back in the pipeline for prison. There is no statute of limitations on trying to overthrow my country. There's no statute of limitations on taking away our rights. If you try to take away our rights or our lives, we do not have to forgive or forget. We won't. This has gotten to the point that I have ideation of a world where none of these people are able to do any of these things. That is a very bad thing. I'm in favor of everyone having the right to speak and even act as long as they're within the law. We have a president right now that's literally just ignoring the law. Period, full stop. This is what every fucker on that side of the aisle has been accusing the Democrats of, or liberals, or just people in general, for decades. Because they were secretly, at least the people who are in charge of all of this, like the Heritage Foundation, who knows what else, and agenda, whatever year it states. All of these people have been doing this for years to get people used to these statements so that when they heard it back, they would just say, you're just copying me. This is really, the stupid part about this is that this grade school level heckling bullshit has worked. And I'm ashamed of our species. If anybody's not aware of it, countries like Russia, China, and many other countries, hell, it could be India and Pakistan for all you know. Could be, Syria. All of the other countries outside of the United States that are fed up with the United States poking their nose where they don't want it to go have been pushing for years to get us to come after each other and go at each other's throats. The absolute majority of people in this country do not want it this way and are sitting on their hands because we can't do anything. I'm in a state that's disempowered me from doing something that seems pretty straightforward, but obviously, no, you can't do those things some of you might be thinking of. That's not going to work. Well, maybe we should both sides and compromise. No, compromise didn't work because it hasn't worked for several decades. Stop compromising. What's the next thing? The next part is uncomfortable. You have to remove these people from office, period. Take that for what you will. You have to stop obeying them, period. You have to walk up to every police officer and every military person and tell them, you're going to tell me that you're going to honor not your contract or rules or regulations or orders. You're going to honor basic human dignity and, more importantly, American rules that we go under in our little social contract. Your contract is with me and everybody else. Are you going to defend me or are you going to defend the monsters? And you tell them that and you say, don't answer. The only way you're going to be allowed to lie is if you open your mouth and talk. Say it under your breath in your own heart and soul. You want to lie to yourself, go ahead, but I don't want to hear it. This is their world, and they're just opening it. It didn't work compromising before because the people who are behind all of this have no idea what compromise should be. They don't care. No, there's no education that'll fix it. No, there's no social program that's going to fix it. The last time it worked, we didn't do it enough. And the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. Again, you're not getting the 50,000. You're not going to get your student loans taken care of. And if you just left Biden's policies in place, you've been better off. We are inarguably screwed more than we were before. Period, full stop, that's it. Trump's pardons will be ignored or nullified by we the people. The statute of limitations or any other rule you might invoke will be ignored because you did this to us. We the people do not have to honor some stupid piece of paper that you are relying on us honoring. We do not have to show dignity or respect or common decency to you because you failed to show it to us. And again, if you have any security equipment, make it DIY and stop connecting it to the internet. If it requires that you pay a fee or not, get it disconnected. It's being used against you. Start acting like it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll all need it.